I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. On Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and her holders wobble wobble. Just thought he fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. Finish the bottle when I hope think she a model. She in the mirror like a Showtime, the Apollo. Catch up the phone, now I pull up in the Tahoe. Thought it's boring, I ain't calling unless she swallow. She don't listen,
I am in the building.
Got another
little under the weather, but I am in the building.
Got another thought, he thinks she hit the lotto. She pop a
Let's get into it.
This bitch is bad, she fucking all the drug dealers.
Woof.
This bitch and then I took his plug, nigga.
Woof.
Have her back, I'm getting to the bag, nigga.
I'm here to talk about Kamala Harris, y'all.
I know that cash, nigga. Caught in my back, I'm counting up.
I'm on her neck. I'm on her heels. Why are the speeches so damn short, Kamala? Why are your damn speeches so damn short? We're going to talk about that tonight. Why are the speeches so damn short? They clock in around 30 minutes, 25 minutes. We need you to speak for a little longer. There's real things at issue, Kamala Harris. We need you to speak longer. We don't need a little 25-minute fan service, Kamala. We need you to speak longer. Wobble wobble. Cobble wobble. Welcome to the Checkin' Report. I am your humble host, your gracious host, True and Living. I'm not your homie, I'm the one and only Macaroni. Welcome to the show, y'all. I'm a little underneath the weather. Forgive me for going MIA for the last 2 days. Little underneath the weather. Little tired. But I'm here, y'all. And I'm here to ask the question, why are Kamala Harris's speeches so damn short? Like I said, they clock in around 24, 25 minutes. 30 if she's, if she feels like she's in a groove. But Kamala Harris, there are real issues at hand here. We're talking about people's economy, their finances. People pouring into their communities, immigrants. We're talking about real issues here, Kamala, and you haven't really been talking about that. You've been focused on Trump. You haven't been focused on the issues at hand. There's more things at hand than Trump, Kamala. We don't want to hear you talk about Trump all day, Trump all night. We want you to talk about why you have been failing this country for the last 3.5 years. Why are the damn speeches so damn short? We need for you to break down why this country is failing. We need for you to articulate why this country is failing. Hold on. We need for you to give us a strategy how you're going to bring us out of this bad economy. We need for you to do more, Kamala. We need for you to do more. So I want to take a look at the DNC speech. She was at the DNC, talking her talk, walking her walk. We're gonna get into her DNC speech, and I just want to ask that question though. Why are the speeches so short? I don't understand why. This is the person who's running for president of the United States. This is a very important job. This is not pushing pencils as VP. This is not locking up black men for minor drug infractions when she was a prosecutor. You are essentially going to be running the free world, Kamala. We need for you to talk more. We have an idiot in the chat right now. This dude has been stalking me for the last 3 days. Salute to you, man. I already told people what governmental inflation comes from. Governmental inflation comes from governmental overspending. Look it up, sir. The government overspending is where inflation comes from. I told you that then. I'm telling you that now. Look it up, sir. Stop being an idiot and look it up for yourself. I don't need to hold your hand, sir. I don't need to hold your hand. I don't need to hold your hand. Now, let's get back into these speeches. Listen, if you want to be a part of the discussion, please put it in the super chat. I'm only interested in talking to people who donate to the channel. If you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on our donors here. We put respect on the donors here. We're gonna take a look at Kamala Harris's speech at the DNC. She was talking her talk. We're gonna get into it, but I have to ask the question: why are these speeches so damn short? Why can't she do a 40-minute speech? Why can't she do an hour speech? Why can't she do an hour and 30 speech? Why can't she do it? Why can't she do a full speech? Why is it only 30 minutes clocking in around that time? I would like to hear her break down what went wrong in terms of the economy. I would like to hear why she failed as a border czar. That's a person in charge of the border. Why did she fail at all of these jobs when it comes to being a vice president? She needs to explain that to the people living in those sanctuary cities where the immigrants are pouring into. She needs to explain why she failed at the border. She needs to explain why the economy is the way it is and we're dealing with inflation. She needs to explain this to the American people. I'm looking for her to explain that. So let's get into somebody said for the votes. Exactly. She's doing it for the votes. She's doing it for the votes. Let's get into her speech at the DNC. Let's just see what she's talking about. I heard that she mentioned Trump 21 times. Let's get into it. Get into it.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion, please put it in the super chat. We only put respect on the donors here. I want people to be a part of the dialogue and be a part of the discussion. We have a lot to get to in terms of Koala Bear Harris. Shall we?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Okay, we got to get to some business. We got to get to some business. Okay. Thank you all. Okay. Thank you.
If you're a Trump supporter, please let me know if you think that she did a good job at the DNC. Did she fail at the DNC? I didn't think she did a good job. I think that she got totally outstaged by the Obamas. The Obamas outstaged her. If we're talking about pure energy, pure articulation, just being a great orator, the Obamas totally, flamed her, got her up out of here. People were more excited to see the Obamas than they were to see Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I even think Oprah did a better job with her speech. I think Oprah was a better speech giver than Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris, it was a little lackluster for me. Little lackluster. I feel like this was her shining moment to give us that hour speech. Give us that 45, 50-minute speech. People came here for you, Kamala. They wanted to see more. They wanted you to have your shining moment and really articulate to people what you were going to do for them this election season. So, I feel like she kind of dropped the ball on her acceptance speech, the Democratic acceptance speech. But let's get back into it.
Thank you. Please, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. How many people are you gonna thank, Kamala? Thank you. How many people are you gonna thank, Kamala? The only people Kamala needs to be thanking is Nancy Pelosi for creating a coup to get Joe Biden up out of here. And she needs to be thanking Joe Biden for saying, you know what, I'm too old for this.
What a thrill.
I need to take my old behind home and, and get some mashed potatoes. And go relax somewhere. That's who you should be thanking. You should be thanking Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi for creating a coup to get them up out of here. I'm only responding to super chatters, bro. I put respect on the donors here. Please, if you have anything to say, you have anything to add to the discussion, please put it in a super chat. We put respect on the donors here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get back into it, y'all. I got a lot to get to.
Please, thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's get to business. All right.
When are you going to get to business? You've been in office for the last 3.5 years and you still ain't been to business. The border, you ain't been to business. Inflation, you ain't been to business. What have you been doing for the last 3.5 years, Kamala? Because it has not been business. You ain't been taking care of business.
So let me start by thanking my most...
Oh, we got more thank yous to get to. Kamala Harris, you didn't just win a BET award. You didn't just win an MTV award. You didn't win a Grammy, Kamala. Please, let's get to the issues. You can thank people later. People are having an issue. Having a real issue. Paying for their groceries. Paying their rent. Mortgage. Home ownership. We can get to the thank yous later. This is not a BET award, Kamala.
Incredible husband, Doug.
1 second, y'all. We here. Hold on, y'all. You know, YouTube, they going commercial brazy right now. Give me 1 second, y'all. We got to get to business.
For being an incredible partner to me, an incredible father to Cole and Ella.
Hit that like button. We got a lot to get to talking about Koala Bear Harris. We got a lot to get to.
And happy anniversary, Dougie.
Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Kamala Harris, the American people don't give a damn about your anniversary. Respectfully. People are trying to pay their bills. They're under a crippling economy right now. Immigrants pouring into the city. Foreign policies. Countries at war. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. We ain't got time for their anniversary, Kamala. We got beef with Iran. We got beef with China. We got beef with Russia. We got beef with some big dogs with nuclear capabilities, and you're over here talking about, do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. We don't care. Get to the damn issues, woman. Get to the damn topics. Get to the damn agenda. Let's get to work. You ain't been working in the last 3.5 years, but now you want to thank your hubby bear. Get to the damn issues, woman.
I love you so very much. To our President Joe Biden.
And this is another thing that I don't like about Kamala Harris, excuse me. She's very fake and phony. Very fake and phony. Very fake and phony. Do not think for a second that she did not collaborate with the Democrats to kick Joe Biden out of the presidential seat. Don't think for a moment, a second, a millisecond, that she was not in cahoots with Nancy Pelosi. You know, they call her Nancy Pelosi the godmother or the godfather. She's the Vito Corleone of the Democratic left. And she put a hit out on Jim Crow Joe. She put a hit out on Jim Crow Joe. Hit that like button, yo. We got about 50 people in the building. I need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot to get to in terms of Kamala Harris's speech. We got a lot to get to. Let's get to it.
When I think about the path that we have traveled together, Joe, I am filled with gratitude.
The path that you traveled together? You was calling this man a racist, Kamala Harris, you was calling this man a racist during the Democratic primaries. Were you not? You called Jim Crow Joe a racist. Not only did you call him a racist, you called him out of touch. Then you go on to take the VP job, do nothing for the American people, put us into a state of inflation, crippling our economy, bad foreign policies and politics around the globe, causing us to have issues and tensions with other superpowers around the globe. The administration has been a nightmare. Make no mistake about it. The administration has been a nightmare for us. It's been a nightmare, Kamala. I'm trying to get it right, y'all. Come a million. You come and go. You come and go. The Prince of Camelot. Joe Camel. I don't know. Am I saying it right? Am I saying it wrong? I'm trying to get it right, y'all. I'm trying to get it right. I'm trying. But let's get back into it.
Your record is
hit that like button. Hit that like button. We got 100 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Why are her speeches so damn short? That's today's topic. I want to ask the question, why are her speeches so damn short? Why she can't do an hour speech like Trump? Why she can't do even a 45-minute speech? I don't think that's too much to ask for. An hour speech, I don't think that's too much to ask for, because when you're in a debate setting, you're gonna have to speak longer. When you're addressing the American people and they're really on you about a topic, you're going to have to talk to the American people for long spans of time. I'm not satisfied with you giving us only these small 30-minute speeches. And then to add to misery or to add to insult, you don't even want to sit down and have an interview with people. Why can't you sit down with the American people? Why can't you talk to the American people? See what's on their minds. See what's on their hearts. See what they're going through. Maybe you can be more in touch if you talk to the people, but you won't even do that. You think less of the American people. You don't want to work with them. We got 100 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Hit it to the beat. Hit that damn like button. Hit that damn subscribe button. If you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters, the donors. And I want people to be a part of the discussion and dialogue. Let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it. Let's waste no more time on it. Let's get back into it.
Extraordinary as history will show, and your character is inspiring. And Doug and I love you, and Jill. And
oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it with the fake and phoniness. She's so fake. She's faker than a $3 bill. So fake. You collaborated with Nancy Pelosi, a.k.a. Vito Corleone, and you put a hit out on Jim Crow Joe. You got him kicked out the presidential seat. You had him questioning his mental stability. You made him feel like he was, out of the game, out of touch. You sent off old Yeller out the pasture. Did you not, Kamala? You sent old Yeller, that's Jim Crow Joe. You sent him out the pasture like a rabid old dog. You sent him out the pasture. You and Nancy Pelosi, you need to take accountability for that. You need to talk about, is there a reason why Jim Crow Joe hasn't spoken to Nancy Pelosi yet? It's a reason why they haven't talked, because he understood and he knew that it was her doing who created a coup to get him kicked out of the presidential seat. Did she not? She's responsible. She's accountable for that. Let's continue.
And are forever thankful to you both. And to Coach Tim Walz.
Oh, here we go again with Tampon Timmy, the tampon coach. You get a tampon. You get a tampon. You get a tampon. He was the Oprah Winfrey of Minnesota. You get a tampon. You get a tampon. You get a tampon. He was handing out tampons to the football team, the basketball team, the chess team, the gymnastics team. I heard he was handing out tampons to the garbage men and police officers and the firemen. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit it to the beat, hit it to the beat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We got a lot to get to. We got a lot to get to. It's going to be a long night. Hard day's work. We're here to kick in the back of the Democratic left. They have failed the people. They have created this nonsense, this false perception that Donald Trump is the worst thing since, I don't even know, the worst thing on the planet. All while they have been failing the economy. They have been failing the United States citizens. They have been failing the country. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it.
You are going to be an incredible vice president. president.
Free tampons for everybody.
And to the delegates and everyone who has put your faith in our campaign, your support is humbling. So, America, the path that led me here in recent weeks was...
The path that left me here in recent weeks... Kamala Harris, we know what the path that led you here in recent weeks. It was just yesterday you was buying new pantsuits. And you got a call from Nancy Pelosi, a.k.a. Vito Corleone. And Nancy Pelosi said, listen, Kamala, listen here. Listen up good. We're going to kick Jim Crow Joe out of the presidential seat. And we're going to give you the job. We're not going to go through any primaries where people can vote for a Democrat elected official themselves. We're not going to give the people that chance. We're going to rob them of that. We're going to kick Jim Crow Joe out of the seat. And we're going to give you the job on a silver platter. No debates, no primaries, not talking to any publications to give any interviews. Absolutely no work. I mean, you haven't been doing any work anyway. You've just been pushing pencils. You haven't been to the border. You haven't fixed the economy. We're going to hand you the Democratic nom on a silver platter. That was just yesterday. And here she is thanking everyone. We got 155 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It's my first day back. I need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot to get to, man.
No doubt unexpected. But I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys. So my mother, our mother, Kamala Harris, had one of her own.
An Indian woman.
And I miss her every day, and especially right now. And I know she's looking down, smiling. I know that. So my mother was 19 when she crossed the world alone, traveling from India to California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist who would cure breast cancer.
Let's stop that right there. Let's stop that right there. Can we put this I'm a black woman thing to bed? Can we just put it to bed? Can we just put it to bed? Every woman that has a little bit of melanin is not a black woman. Can we just break down Kamala Harris's genealogical pool? Can we just break it down? She loves Venn diagram. Can we break down her genealogical pool real quick? Her father was a biracial man. He was not a foundational black man. He was not a foundational black man. He was an half white, half Jamaican man. His father was white. His father was white. His mother was Jamaican, right? So her father was biracial. Kamala Harris's mother is an Indian woman. Now, let's be honest. When you have a young daughter, a young girl, when a woman conceives a young daughter, right? When a woman conceives a daughter, right? What do young girls do? They emulate their mothers. They learn their values, their systems, how to treat a man, how to talk to men, how to be a woman, their femininity. They learn all of that from their mother, right? Is that not right? Is that not right? And we got 239 people in the building. I need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. We got a lot to get to. But this woman, listen, Kamala, she learned her values from an Indian woman, not a black woman, not a foundational black woman that suffered through slavery, suffered through Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights era. An Indian woman. That's who she comes from, and a biracial, half Jamaican, not foundational black, half Jamaican and white. And his father was white. This is not a black woman. Can we put it to bed? Listen, hear me out, Kamala supporters. Hear me out. There's nothing wrong with her being a biracial woman. There's nothing wrong with her, being a mixed race, a female president. A half, white, half Jamaican, half Indian president. I think y'all should feel good about that. You should feel good that she's a multiculturalist. You should feel good that she's biracial. But this is not a black woman. This is not a black woman. You are not looking at a black woman. This is not a foundational black woman that her ancestors suffered under slavery. This is not that. Let's get back into it, though.
When she finished school, she was supposed to return home to a traditional arranged marriage. But as fate would have it, she met my father, Donald Harris, a student from Jamaica. They fell in love and got married, and that act of self-determination made my sister Maya and me. Growing up, we moved a lot. I will always remember that big Mayflower truck packed with all our belongings, ready to go to Illinois.
And I'm happy she's kind of breaking down her her story. Now, what do they say about people who move a lot? What do they say about it? What do they say about people that move a lot? I want people to be a part of the dialogue and discussion, right? I want y'all to be a part of the dialogue and discussion. Please put it in a super chat. We put respect on all donors and super chatters here, but she just said something. She said that she moved a lot as a young child. Now, when kids move around a lot, they have a hard time, finding friends because they're moving around a lot. They're not able to sit there for, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and gain the friendships that they need, gain the sense of community that they need, the sense of culture that they need. Now, here, what I'm hearing is a multiculturalist girl that never fit in with anyone. She never fitted in with the blacks, never fit in with the whites. There was nobody that had the same story as her, a multiculturalist girl with a mother that's a doctor. So there was not a lot of people that had the same story as her, and she moved around, didn't, really get to gain the friends like that. That also tells me a lot that this is not a black woman. She has no sense of culture. She didn't grow up in those black communities with those black kids, seeing those black mothers struggle. This is a young woman. This was a woman when she was younger that moved around a lot, didn't have a sense of community. So we need to see that and call that out as well, in terms of, she's a black woman. No.
Illinois to Wisconsin and wherever our parents' jobs took us. My early memories of our parents together are very joyful ones. A home filled with laughter and music.
Oh my goodness, could you imagine the laughter in that household? Kamala Harris with her horrendous laugh on top of everybody else laughing in that house. Must have sounded horrendous. Must have sounded horrendous.
Aretha, Coltrane, and Miles.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button.
At the park, my mother would say, stay close. But my father would say,
stay close. Don't get too close to the black kids. Stay close to me and your father. Don't get too close to the black kids. Their blackness may rub up on you. Don't get to the black. Don't touch the black kids. I don't want you coming home with any type of STDs, Kamala. Don't get too close to the black kids. That's what her mother said to her. Don't get too close to the bad. Don't get too close to the black kids. They have rabies. Don't get too close to the black kids. They have ticks. That's what it sounds like to me.
say, as he smiled, run, Kamala, run, don't be afraid.
Run, Kamala, run. When the black kids chase you, run, Kamala. Run, run, run. They're going to take your school lunch money, Kamala, run. I can't go to school with you, Kamala. You got to run from the black kids.
Don't let anything stop you.
Coming from Hawaii.
Hold on. We got to get to these commercials. Hold on, y'all. No, YouTube going commercial brazy as they do. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I know we in the building right now. We got about 177 people in the building. Let's get back into it.
Years, he taught me to be fearless. But the harmony between my parents did not last. When I was in elementary school, they split up. And it was mostly my mother who raised us.
Again, that speaks volumes. All of you Democratic boot-licking people calling her a black woman. She just said out of her mouth that when her father and her mother split up, that it was her mother who raised her. Not that biracial Jamaican man. That was her father. But an Indian woman raised her. She was not raised as a black woman. And I'm a little disappointed in a lot of you black women. I'm very disappointed in you. I'm very disappointed in you. And your support, your unblinding support for Kamala. I'm very disappointed in a lot of you black women. She just said it out her mouth that she was raised by an Indian woman, not a black woman. She was raised by an Indian woman. And I'm disappointed in a lot of you black women because you were raised by black women. You know what it's like to have a hot comb on your scalp and mama left it on there too long. You know what it's like to be at those family reunions down south. You know what it's like for Big Mama to go cook up a big pot of chitlins. And she got the house stinking with them chitlins, cooking up them chitlins. You know the black experience. You know what it's like to have a black mother. But here you have this woman telling you she was raised primarily by her Indian mother. But you're telling me that this is a black woman? You're telling me that this is a black woman? When she's telling you out of her mouth, she was raised by her Indian mother. She learned all her values, all her customs, her way of living from her mother. I'm very disappointed in a lot of you black women. I'm very disappointed. Let's continue, though.
Before she could finally afford to buy a home, she rented a small apartment in the East Bay. In the Bay, you either live in the hills or the flatlands. We lived in the flats. A beautiful, working-class neighborhood.
Make no mistake that her mother was a doctor. Her mother was a doctor, y'all. Don't believe for a second that she was in the hood, throwing up gang signs, running around with the slimes and the common riffraff of the streets. Her mother was a doctor. She awarded her kids a beautiful lifestyle. Most single mothers that were living in Oakland at that time, they were in Section 8 project buildings, struggling to make ends meet. Make no mistake that Kamala Harris had a great upbringing from a mother that was a doctor. Make no mistake. We got about 172 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I need y'all to rock with me tonight. I need y'all to rock with me. If you want to be a part of the discussion, the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors here. We put respect on the super chatters here. And I want people to be a part of the dialogue and discussion. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into it, y'all.
Of firefighters, nurses, and construction workers, all who tended their lawns with pride. My mother.
Yeah, you grew up in a beautiful suburban community. You didn't grow up in the hood. Nobody in your community was throwing up gang signs. You know? You grew up in a suburban, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at her. You know, Kamala Harris doesn't have to be from the hood. Kamala Harris doesn't have to be from the ghetto. Kamala Harris, this has nothing to, her and her upbringing has nothing to do with her being black. Her being raised by an Indian mother has everything to do with her not being black. Has nothing to do with the way she was brought up in terms of where she grew up, whether she grew up in the hood or not. I'm speaking to her values. I'm speaking to her culture. I'm speaking to the woman who raised her. That's why I'm saying she's not black. Let's continue, though.
She worked long hours, and like many working parents, she leaned on a trusted circle to help raise us. Mrs. Shelton, who ran the daycare below us and became a second mother. Uncle Sherman, Aunt Mary, Uncle Freddie, Auntie Chris. None of them family by blood, and all of them.
Oh, we got a super chatter. Salute to the super chatter. Let's get to the super chatter real quick.
What a thrill.
Salute to MAF Gig Econ. Salute to you, sir, with the $5 donation. Or I think with a $2 donation. Salute to you, sir. Salute to MAF Gig Econ with a $2 donation. He says she lived in Canada while she was in graded school. Really? I did not know. So she lived in Canada for a while. Where was she at in Canada? Was she in Toronto, Mississauga? Where in Canada? Can anybody tell me where in Canada what she was? Where was she at in Canada? MAF Gig Econ says she used to live in Canada at one point in time in her life. Salute to you, sir, with the $2 donation. Let's get back into it, though. Let's get back into it.
Family by love. Family who taught us how to make gumbo, how to play chess, and sometimes even let us win. Family who loved us, believed in us, and told us we could be anything and do anything. They instilled in us the values.
Did she cook the gumbo in the bathtub? She said that she cooked greens in the bathtub. I want to know, did she cook gumbo in the bathtub? You know, 'cause I have to ask that question. And gumbo from Oakland, I don't know if I would want to try that. Maybe if you was from New Orleans, somewhere down south. But gumbo from Oakland, I don't think I would try that. Gumbo from Oakland. Would any of y'all try that? Gumbo from Oakland? I'll try some gumbo from down south, but I don't know about no gumbo from Oakland. I don't know about that.
They personified community, faith, and the importance of treating others as you would want to be treated. With
Kamala, could you please, I mean, listen, no disrespect to your family and to the people that raised you, but it's time to get to the issues. You've been in office already. You've been in office for the last 3.5 years. Can we get to the issues? How are you going to fix the economy? How are you going to fix the border? How are you going to fix the foreign politics around the globe, all the tensions we have with different countries? How are you going to fix these things, Kamala? How are you going to fix them?
kindness, respect, and compassion. My mother was a brilliant, 5-foot-tall, brown woman with an accent.
She said brown woman, not black woman. All you Democratic bootlickers kept telling me that this is a black woman. She said her mother was a brown woman, not a black woman. If we're going to keep it there, we got to keep it fair.
And as the
Again, if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors here. We read all donations here. We put respect on the donors here. Let's get back into it, though.
as the eldest child, I saw how the world would sometimes treat her. But my mother never lost her cool. She was tough, courageous, a trailblazer in the fight for women's health, and she taught Maya and me a lesson that Michelle mentioned the other night. She taught us to never complain about injustice, but do something about it. Do something about it.
Why haven't you done anything about the injustices? Kamala Harris, Sonia Massey, rest in peace to Sonia Massey. Sonia Massey, a black woman, assassinated in her home by white supremacist officers. Why haven't you given black people a hate crime bill to protect black citizens from white supremacist officers? Kamala Harris, you've been in office for 3.5 years. Black people have not had an equal footing in America. We've suffered through slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights era. And we're still being victimized by the police system, being massively incarcerated. Why have you not worked on a reparations bill to help black people, to mend things, to fix things? Let's go to immigration. You were the border czar. The border czar. You said you ain't never been to the border. Why haven't you fixed the issues at the border? Why haven't you made our border secure, better, tighter, more secure? You haven't been doing anything. You haven't been doing nothing. You haven't been doing nothing. What have you been doing? What is your track record, Kamala? What is your vice president track record? Raising the price of groceries, is that your accomplishment, this VP? Raising the price of groceries and flooding the country with immigrants. That's your crowning accomplishment as VP. Your crowning accomplishment, your crowning achievement is messing up the economy and flooding the country with illegal immigrants. That's your crowning achievement, Kamala. That's your crowning achievement. And buying new pantsuits. She got different flavors of pantsuits. She got more pantsuits than Steve Harvey. She got more pantsuits than Oprah. She got more pantsuits than Hillary Clinton. Make no mistake about it.
That was my mother. And she taught us, and she also taught us, and never do anything half-assed.
You've been doing your job as VP half-assed. Kamala Harris, when an interviewer asked you if you've ever been to the border, you told this man that you never even been to the border. And all that would be fine and dandy if you wasn't the border czar. They put you in control of the border, woman. And you never even went there. You've been doing a half-ass job. When you don't speak to any of the publications, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Fox News, and you don't talk to the American people, listen, being a president is a people job. You've been doing a half-ass job, Kamala. Make no mistake about it.
That is a direct quote. A direct quote. I grew up immersed in the ideals of the civil rights movement. My parents had met at a civil rights gathering, and they made sure that we learned about civil rights leaders, including the lawyers like Thurgood Marshall and Constance Baker Motley, those who battled in the courtroom to make real the promise of America. So at a young age, I decided I wanted to do that work. I wanted to be a lawyer. And when it came time to choose the type of law I would pursue,
you chose to lock up black men at a higher rate than their white counterparts. That's what you chose, Kamala. Make no mistake about it. Salute to MAF Gig Econ with the $2 donation. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you, sir. You know? MAF Gig Econ Story says, Montreal. She never was in call at a young age. Lies. Oh, so she was in Montreal. Okay, she was in Montreal. Yeah, because you said that she was out in Canada. Okay, yeah, so she was out in Montreal. Okay. I never heard that. I didn't know she was out in Montreal. I didn't know she was out. You know, she keeps saying that, you know, she made her bones in California and stuff like that. And it was San Francisco, the Oakland area. That's where she said she made her bones at. So okay, Montreal. I gotta look into that. I gotta look into her being from Montreal. I gotta look into that.
I reflected on a pivotal moment in my life. You see, when I was in high school, I started to notice something about my best friend, Wanda. She was sad at school, and there were times she didn't want to go home. So one day I asked if everything was all right, and she confided in me that she was being sexually abused by her stepfather. And I immediately told her she had to come stay with us, and she did. This is one of the reasons I became a prosecutor, to protect people like Wanda, because I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Salute to Hawk Productions with the $2 donation. He says, keep up the great work, brother. Salute to you. Salute to you. Thank you for that, Hawk Productions. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate you. Salute. Now, let's talk about her, taking the job as a prosecutor to protect people, to save innocent people. Kamala Harris, that is totally antithetical of a lot of things you did as a prosecutor. Kamala Harris, you put a man on death row. You put a man on death row. There was evidence. There was evidence that could free him. There was evidence that showed unequivocally that the man was innocent. You decided to say, no, we don't want him to give us records that show him as innocent. We want him to stay on death row. You even went as far to tell an innocent man on death row that the evidence that showed that he was innocent did not meet the deadline. Kamala Harris, he was an innocent man. You left an innocent man on death row to rot. Should you not be held accountable? So what you're telling me, when you was a young girl, one of your friends was sexually abused, you decided to take up the work as a prosecutor to save people, to give help to the innocent, to protect those people, to save those people. But when it came down to a man that was rotting on death row, awaiting a lethal dose in his arm, by the miracle of God, he found the evidence to free him, and you did everything in your power to keep him on death row. It sounds like you went back on your oath. It sounds like you threw away, saving and helping people, and just said, you know what, I don't want to save and help people no more. I want to create slaves for the prison industrial system. She was packing up people in prisons like sardines. Up until the point where the state told her that the prisons are full. We can't house all these prisoners. We have to let some of these go. Some of these men, with minor crimes, minor drug infractions, we need to let these men go. She said no. Should she not be held accountable for that? Should she not be looked at, observed for that? We got 200 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to be a part of the dialogue and the discussion, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors here. I want people to be a part of the dialogue. I want people to be a part of the discussion. So please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors here. Let's get back into it. But what she's saying doesn't add up. Because if you have this track record of criminalizing black men that smoke weed, incarcerating people at a high rate for minor drug infractions, withholding evidence that could have freed an innocent man on death row, it sounds like to me you threw away helping innocent people, saving innocent people, trying to help the community, and you rather said, you know what, I want to put people in jail. I want to put people in jail at a high rate, create slaves for the prison industrial system. That's what she did. Make no mistake. Let's get back into it.
As a prosecutor, when I had a case, I charged it not in the name of the victim, but in the name of the people. For a simple reason.
Oh, so when you locked up black men for minor drug infractions, I'm charging you in the name of the people. You had a little nickel bag of weed, a little eighth of weed. I'm charging you in the name of the people. We put you on death row, and there's evidence, to free you. I'm charging you as as the people. I am disgusted that that anybody is supporting this woman. I am disgusted that the black community, at any level, and I know a lot of black people do not rock with her, will not be voting for her, and salute to you guys, salute to you, because I'm sure you've heard this clip.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
I'm sure a lot of you have heard that clip, but I'm very disgusted that here you have black people, right? And listen, I'm a black man. I'm a foundational black man. But I'm trying to wrap my brain around this, really. As a black voter, I'm trying to wrap my brain around this, right? We know as black people, right? We know, a lot of black people that's in here, and I know a lot of y'all are going to agree with what I'm saying. We know that the justice system doesn't give us a fair shake, right? We know that the justice system hasn't been fair to black people. It's been downright brutal to black people. Officers assassinating black people in cold blood in the street, getting away with it. White supremacists like George Zimmerman stalking black kids like Trayvon Martin, getting away with it. Black people having their rights violated in the streets when they get pulled over by white supremacist officers. We have not had it fair in America. And it truly bothers me to my spirit that here we have a person who was a part of that white supremacist justice system. A part of that system that was locking up black men at a higher rate than they were for white people. There were white individuals that came into her courtroom, that came in there with the same drug charges that, Tyrone came in there with. And she gave black men higher charges than their white counterparts. This is a woman that was a part of that white supremacist justice system. That did things in favor of that white supremacist justice system. And now the black community is looking at her as a hero. The black community is looking at her as the last hope. The black community is looking at her as some sort of savior. Are you kidding me? This woman locked up your brothers. She locked up your uncles. She locked up your grandfathers. She locked up some of your mothers. She was a part of the white supremacist justice system, but now we're looking at her as a savior? Are you kidding me? We gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Stop licking the Democratic boots. Stop licking the Democratic boots.
In our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. YouTube going commercial brazy right now. Give me 1 second. Was that Hillary Clinton? Was that Hillary Clinton clapping like that? Wasn't she a part of the? Hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second, y'all.
And I would
I thought that was Hillary. All right, let's continue.
explain this to console survivors of crime, to remind them no one should be made to fight alone.
What about the crimes that you committed, Kamala? Should you be held accountable? Because I think you've committed some crimes as well. You were locking up black men at a higher rate than you were their white counterparts, giving them higher charges. They came in there with the same crimes. The white man came in there with some drugs, and the black man came in there with the drugs. You gave the white man, probation and some rehab. You gave the black man, 25 to life. They came in there with the same cocaine, the same drugs. Absolutely ridiculous that black people are looking at this woman as the last hope, the savior. Not all black people, because a lot of black people aren't falling for the okie doke anymore. The Democratic okie doke. The banana in the tailpipe. Getting bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok. Let's continue.
We are all in this together. And every day, in the courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge, and I said 5 words.
Lock him up, Your Honor.
Kamala Harris for the people.
Oh, stop it. You wasn't working for the people. Make no mistake, and I really want to break this down. She was never working for the people. What you're looking at is a woman who has been, listen, she's been tap dancing to her superiors her whole life. Whether she was a prosecutor, whether she was a district attorney, whether she was a senator, whether she was a VP, she has been tap dancing for her superiors her whole life. She's an ambitious woman. And every time she locked up another black man, she was doing it to further her career. I don't believe that a woman that let the economy go down the way it did cares about the American people. I don't believe a woman that allows illegal immigrants to flood into our countries with gangs, drugs, and violence and hurt citizens. I don't believe she cares about the people. And please, wake up. How does she care about the people when she's allowed this to happen? She's allowed for you to struggle so that you can't pay for your groceries and your rent. That you're struggling from bill to bill. How does she care about you? A lot of you Kamala Harris supporters ask that question. How does she care about you when you're struggling? How does she care?
And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people.
Stop it, Kamala. You've only been working for superiors your whole life. Your whole life has been spent working on behalf of your superiors. When you was a prosecutor, you had superiors to answer to. District attorney, you had superiors to answer to. Senator, you had superiors to answer to. VP, you had superiors to answer to. Now you want to be president, and there are, a billionaire sugar daddy supporting your campaign. You will have superiors to answer to. You've been working for superiors your whole life. You have not been working for the people. You have not been working for the people.
And so,
if you want to be a part of the discussion and the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors and the super chatters here. Put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors and the super chatters.
On behalf of the people, on behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of my mother and everyone who has ever set out on their own unlikely journey, on behalf of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard, chase their dreams.
And, the thing about Kamala, another thing, she's not a good speech giver. She really isn't. I don't know how many of you have any of you seen the Obamas when they gave the speech? I mean, literally, I'm no fan of the Obamas, but I can tell you that the energy and the charisma was coming off of the screen. When Obama took that, even when Michelle took that stage, the charisma was in the room. The energy was in the room. You felt it off of your TV screen. I'm not feeling the energy or the charisma here. I'm truly not. I'm not feeling the energy. I'm not feeling the passion. I'm not feeling the humility. I'm not feeling the humanity. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the compassion for the American people. I'm not feeling the love for this country. I'm not feeling patriotic when I'm hearing her. I'm not feeling it. When Obama was up there, listen, I'm not a fan of Obama. I am not a fan of Obama. I'm not a fan of Michelle Obama. But damn it, when they got on that stage, the energy was electric. And she's not a good speech giver. She's not a great orator. She's boring to listen to.
And look out for one another. On behalf of everyone.
You could hear a pin drop. When Obama was speaking, there was people cheering through the speeches. People was high-fiving, shucking and jiving. People were doing cartwheels through the aisles. There's no electric coming out of the screen. There's no jovialness. Like, where's the passion? Where's the patrioticness? Where's the patriotism? Where's the love? Where's the humility? Where's the energy? Where's the charisma? I'm not feeling it, Kamala.
Whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth. I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America. And with this election,
Yeah, put some more energy behind these speeches. There's like no energy behind her speeches. Put some energy behind your voice, Kamala. If you're gonna be doing the work for the American people, you're gonna have to put more energy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell a lot of you Kamala Harris fans, I'm letting y'all know right now, if she doesn't start, you know, getting a little energy behind her voice, if she doesn't get a little bit more tougher in the see, that's why it's good to do interviews, because, you know, you need to be quick on your feet and know how to speak and know how to talk. She hasn't done an interview yet. She's going to do bad in a debate. She doesn't have the experience. She hasn't sat down with anyone, hasn't talked to anyone. She doesn't have the energy, the charisma. It's going to be bad if she doesn't get with the right people in a debate. I'm letting y'all Kamala Harris fans know this right now. Y'all need to talk to the people in her camp. Tell her that she needs to do an interview, you know, do some prep debates, because if she comes into these debates with this low-level energy, no charisma, cackling all the time, it's going to be bad in the debate. It's going to be very bad for her. It's going to be very bad for her in a debate if she doesn't get with people to help her. You know, the short speeches, it's not good. None of it tells me that she's prepared for a debate. None of it.
And with this election, our nation with this election has a precious, fleeting opportunity to move past the bitterness, cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward. Not.
Oh, what about the division that the Democrats have been doing? The Democrats have been creating a lot of division. I seen New York Governor Kathy Hochul in a video talking about black kids don't know how to use computers. She said the black kids in New York, they're like wild aborigines. They've never seen a computer in their lives. That's a Democrat. What about Jim Crow Joe? He supported the hate. He supported that bill that massively incarcerated black people. Division. What about CNN, MSNBC? Trump is a tyrant. Trump is a dictator. If you support Trump, you're dumb. You're an idiot. Division. Trump attempted assassination attempt. It was staged. Division. That's all political left. Is it not? Have the Democrats not been, you know, creating division? Have they not been a part of the division? Let's stop acting like the division is one-sided. The division hasn't been one-sided. If you want to say the conservatives are a part of it, I'll take that. I'll agree with you. You know, listen, Kamala fans, listen, if you want to say the conservatives are a part of the, even if you want to say Trump is a part of the division, I'll take that. But let's stop acting like it's one-sided. It is not one-sided. It is very much on both sides. Both sides are guilty of creating division in this country. Again, if you want to be a part of this discussion and this dialogue, please put in the super chat. We put respect on the super chatters and the donors. Let's get back into it.
Not as members of any one party or faction, but as Americans. And let me say, I know there are people of various political views watching tonight, and I want you to know, I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me.
You haven't been working on behalf of all Americans. Let's do a little like a little audit here. Let's do a little presidential audit here, if you will. You haven't been working on behalf of all Americans. Americans right now, they feel betrayed by the government. The American public, listen, and right now I'm speaking for all Americans right now. I'm not just speaking on behalf of Black Americans. I'm speaking on behalf of all Americans. Americans feel betrayed by the government right now. They absolutely do, because they're looking at the immigrants flooding into our countries, getting, gifted incentives, whether it be putting them up in high-rise hotels, giving them credit cards in New York City, allowing them to come into our country. That would be allowed nowhere else. You've been incentivizing everybody else except for the American people. How about, giving billions and billions of dollars, whether it be to Ukraine, whether it be to Israel? You have been doing everything but things for the American people. So the American people feel betrayed. They don't feel like you've been working on behalf. So you can't say that you are a president, or you want to be a president for everyone. You've been working for everyone but the American people. The American people feel betrayed. The American people feel like you haven't been working for them. This is not the immigrants saying this. This is not the people that, just migrated here, maybe the first generation citizens here. This is the people that been here for centuries. The people that built the countries, like my ancestors. We feel betrayed by the government. We don't major in the minors here. Anybody that likes to major in the minors, you will be sent to the block party. We don't major in the minors here. So if I see you majoring in the minors, I will send you to the block party. We don't major in the minors here. A lot of people major in the minors. We don't major in the minors here. Let's continue.
To put country above party and self. To hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the peaceful transfer of power.
The peaceful transfer of power? You kicked Joe out on his keister. I bet Nancy Pelosi's in that Oval Office right now packing his bags. The peaceful transfer of power? The Democrats had a coup against Jim Crow Joe. The peaceful, absolutely ridiculous.
There are a lot of things.
Give me 1 second, y'all. YouTube with these damn commercials. YouTube with the damn commercial. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to be a part of the discussion, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors here. Let's get into it, y'all.
I will be a president who unites us around our highest aspirations. A president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense, and always fights for the American people.
Kamala Harris, you haven't been in that presidential seat, or that VP seat rather, using common sense. Common sense would tell you, Kamala Harris, stop buying new pantsuits and fix this damn economy. Common sense would tell you, if you're the border czar, you should probably fix the border. Common sense would tell you, that biological men should compete against biological men, and biological women should compete against biological women. That's what common sense would tell you. That's what common sense would tell you. That's what I'm just, your general rationalization, your common sense. That's what it would tell you. That's what it would tell you.
From the courthouse to the White House, that has been my life's work.
Your life's work? Your life's work has been locking up black men, stacking them up in the jail system like sardines. That's your life's work. It hasn't been helping the American people, helping the country, fixing the economy, securing the border. It hasn't been that. Your life's work has been putting black men in jail, stacking them up like sardines. Now that I mean, she from San Francisco. She know what that is. Now that I mean, let's kick the sneak right there. Let's get back into it.
As a young courtroom prosecutor in Oakland, California, I stood up.
How many times are we going to go back to you in your prosecutor days? How many times are we going to go back to your prosecutor days, Kamala? How many times are we going to go back to it? You went through your whole life story about 15 minutes ago. Now we're going back to the damn courtroom days. Come on. Have y'all noticed? Hold on. Let me see if y'all noticed this. Let me see if y'all know, because I've noticed this. She's been talking, right? Anybody notice that she has not been talking about the job she's been doing in the White House? She's been in the White House for the last 3.5 years. Why does she keep going back to her prosecutor days? Can she talk about anything that she's done in the last 3.5 years? 2.5 years? 1.5 years? Why isn't she talking about all the great things she did in the White House? Why isn't she talking about all the great things she did in the White House? Has she done any work in the White House besides pencil pushing, buying new pantsuits, silk presses for her hair? What has she been doing this whole time?
For women and children against predators who abuse them. As Attorney General of California, I took on the big banks, delivered $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure, and helped pass a homeowner Bill of Rights, one of the first of its kind.
Why does she keep going back to her prosecuting days? I want y'all to put it in perspective. Put it in perspective. See, a lot of Kamala's fans and supporters, they don't want to put things in perspective. They want to have their blinders on, not ask any questions, not really look at things for what it's worth. We have a woman who's been in office for the last 3.5 years, right? She's talking about what she did as a prosecutor. Kamala Harris, you haven't been a prosecutor for a long time now. Before you took this job as VP, you were a senator. Why aren't you talking about all of the great things you were doing in the White House? All of the great things that you got done, all of the initiatives, all of the great work you did at the border as the borders are, all of the great work you did with the economy, all of the great work you did for our government. Maybe you can't talk about that because you didn't do anything great with your time there. You keep going back to your prosecutor days. You haven't been a prosecutor for a number of years. What does your resume look like now, Kamala? Even Janet Jackson had the song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? What have you done for the American people lately, Kamala? Kamala Harris supporters, you need to ask yourself that question. Okay, you know, you did this as a prosecutor, you did that as a district attorney, but Kamala, you've been in office for the last 3.5 years. That's a lot of time, you know, to get things done. Where's your work there? Where's your work as VP? Where's your credentials there? Your resume there? This is not a job to be a prosecutor. This is a job to be running the country as the president of the next United States.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Fire! In the nation. I stood up for veterans and students being scammed by big for-profit colleges.
You're not standing up for the veterans now. There's veterans homeless, sick, without the health care that they need. You ain't doing nothing for them now. You're not helping them now. You got immigrants in high-rise hotels. You got Vietnam veterans. Veterans of foreign wars, homeless, dealing with PTSD. While you got immigrants in high-rise hotels with credit cards. You have been failing them. And another thing that you Kamala Harris fans have to look at is we're not looking at somebody like, listen, hear me out. It would be different. This would be different for me if we were looking at somebody who was trying to get in office, right? Somebody that was trying to be VP, someone that wanted the job, but, you know, they didn't get the job yet. They haven't had the time and, you know, as a VP or as a president. They're trying to get that job, like, you know, like Barack Obama in 2008, or like, you know, when Trump first ran. People that were vying for that job. They didn't have, you know, they didn't have the time in the White House or the time in as VP or with the president. They didn't have the time in there. We're looking at somebody who has been in office for 3.5 years. What have you been doing with your time there? What have you been doing with your time there? Kamala Harris supporters, you have to ask that question. I know you hate Trump. I know you're not gonna vote for Trump. I know that whatever you got against Trump, I feel you, right? But some of y'all gotta put your thinking caps on. Some of y'all have to, you know, ask more questions of this woman. You have to, like, listen, I'm not telling you to vote. I'm not telling you not to vote for her. You know, if you're a Kamala Harris supporter, your mind is made up already. All I'm asking is for you to ask more questions. Ask more of her. Ask her to do more. Work more. Get more done. You know? That's what we're asking.
Who are being cheated out of their wages, the wages they were due. For seniors facing...
What have you done as VP?
Elder abuse.
What have you done as VP? What is your VP record? What have you done as vice president? Can we get to that? You are running for president. You are not running for district attorney, woman. You are not running for the, San Francisco County's prosecutor job. I don't give a damn about what you did as a prosecutor, as a DA. What have you done as VP? What have you done?
I fought against the cartels who traffic in guns and drugs and...
Oh, my goodness. And you let them in at the border. You fought against them, then you collaborated with them. You came a long way. You went from locking them up to letting them on in. You where the borders are. You're letting them in. Come on in, guys. Whatever you got. Come on in. What is that? What is that? You got a little powder there? Come on right in.
Human beings who threaten the security of our border and the safety of our communities. And I will tell you, these fights were not easy. And neither were the elections that put me in those offices. We were underestimated at practically every turn.
How was she underestimated getting this Democratic nom? I just want, like, honestly, because I know the Trump supporters feel what I'm saying. They're gonna understand what I'm saying here. How was she underestimated as a VP, getting the VP job, right? Let's just deal with right now. Let's not deal with the prosecutor, because she's been a VP for 3.5 years. So I'm staying here. She hasn't been a prosecutor or a DA for a long time now. I'm staying here as VP and running for president, right? How has she been underestimated, right? Let's go to it. How did she get the job as VP? Let's talk about it. How did she get the job as vice president, y'all? How did she get the job? She got the job as what? A diversity hire. Did she not? Jim Crow Joe wanted the black vote, wanted the multiculturalist vote, and decided to go with Kamala Harris. It wasn't that she was good for the job. She had the experience. She had the knowledge. She had the credentials. It was all off of the strength of her being a diversity hire. How are you underestimated? How are you undermined? They handed you VP on a silver platter. Did they not? Let's go to the Democratic nomination. Let's go to the Democratic nomination. The Democrats robbed the American people of a democratic process. Did not allow the people to vote for the Democratic nominee that they wanted. Jim Crow Joe stays in office. Acts like, oh, I'm going to stay in office. I'm going to run, y'all. He runs out the time of a primary. Runs out the time of a democratic process where we can elect our own Democratic nom. And decides to leave in the nick of time around the DNC, where they do what? They hand you the Democratic nomination on a silver platter. How are you undermined? How are you underestimated? We just looked at 2 incidences of them handing you something on a silver platter. They handed you VP. They handed you the Democratic nom. What are you talking about? Who undermined you? Who's been undermining you as of lately? Remember, you haven't been a prosecutor for a long time. You haven't been a DA for a long time. I'm looking at your political career as a VP, as a Democratic nominee. You have not been undermined. You have not been underestimated. They have been awarding you things on a silver platter. That's what they've been doing.
But we never gave up because the future is always worth fighting for. And that's the fight we are in right now, a fight for America's future. Fellow Americans, this election is not only the most important of our lives.
I agree with her on that. It is the most important election of our lifetime. I agree with that. That's probably going to be the only thing I agree with her during this speech here. I agree with her. This is the most important election of our time.
It is one of the most important in the life of our nation. In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
And I want you guys to look at the fact that we're about halfway through her speech. No mention of the economy. No mention of immigration. No mention of abortion rights. No mention of a lot of things that are weighing on the American public's minds. The number one thing people are thinking about right now is the economy. She has not said a word. She has spent time talking about her mother, grandmother, Uncle Kamala Harris, great-grandfather Kamala Harris, Auntie Kamala Harris, the cousin on her father's side. Her time as a prosecutor. But we have not heard her talk about being a VP, doing the work as VP, doing the work. We haven't heard no lick of that. We haven't heard any of the issues that are weighing on the American public's minds and hearts. Halfway through the speech, we haven't heard none of that. None of it. Absolutely none of it. Let's continue.
But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious.
The consequences of putting you back in office is very serious. Can we afford for you to continue to ruin this economy and for inflation to continue the way it's going? Can we afford for you to continue to allow these immigrants to flood into our country? Can we afford the radical Democrats to play with our rights and civil liberties? Tell us that biological men can play in sports with biological women. Can we afford another 4 years of the Democrats? Can we afford it? I don't think we could afford it. I don't think we could afford if I'm being frank, if I'm going to be frank here. I don't think we could afford another 4 years of Trump. And I don't think we could afford another 4 years of Kamala Harris either. Let's just be honest here. I don't think we could afford neither right now. But we've been suckered into this election at this point. We don't have a choice. And I don't believe in the lesser of two evils. Evil is evil. Kamala Harris has done nothing to help this country. The one thing that I could give Trump is at least, he was taking care of the American public. Did it cost us? Did it hurt the national debt? Was it expensive? Absolutely. but he was taking care of the American people. That's all the American people want. Take care of the American people for once. You take care of everybody else but the American people. America's tired of that. We're tired of that. We can't afford that anymore.
Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the gravity of what has happened.
The calamity? The calamity? Are you serious? With Israel and Hamas going on? Ukraine and Russia? Pro-Palestine protesters are swarming the DNC? Black people still being assassinated in their homes? In the streets? The calamity? Is she serious? Has she not been watching the news for the last 3.5 years? You've been doing a terrible job. The calamity.
Since he lost the last election, Donald Trump tried to throw away your votes. When he failed, he sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol, where they assaulted law enforcement officers. When politicians in his own party begged him to call off the mob and send help, he did the opposite. He fanned the flames. And now, for an entirely...
That's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true. Just say, all right, let's say this. Let's say this. And she's talking about January 6th, of course. Let's just say people tried to reach out. He didn't pick up the phone. Let's just say that. He didn't pick up the phone. Let's say that. To say he fanned the flames, that's not necessarily true. He put out a statement. He told people to go home. To say he fanned the flames, I mean, if you want to say he fanned the flames at the rally, then maybe. But I can't say he fanned the flames after they got into the Capitol building, after they did all of that nonsense. I can't say he fanned the flames. I would say at that point in stage, I would say he wasn't answering his phone at that point. I disagree with that. I don't think he fanned the flame at that point. I'm talking about at the point. She's talking about at the rally when whatever he said at the rally that made people feel like they had to go to the Capitol building to swarm it, right? She's talking about at that point. I'm talking about when they got into the Capitol building, swarmed the Capitol building. After all of that happened, at that point in time, he wasn't really fanning the flames. He was just quiet. He was just quiet at that point. He wasn't fanning the flame. He wasn't picking up. I would just say at that point he wasn't answering his phone. After an hour or so went by, he did a video and he told people to go home. Is he responsible for those people, losing their lives? You can kind of hold him accountable for that. I'm not mad at that. But to say he fanned the flames, I'm not rolling with that. I'm not rolling with it. Just in my opinion. This is my opinion. This is my opinion.
Different set of crimes. He was found guilty of fraud by a jury of everyday Americans.
Somebody said he tweeted Pence didn't have the courage. I agree. Pence didn't have the courage. Listen. When you are part of the regime, you go down with the Titanic, okay? You go down. When you're a part of the Titanic, you go down with it. Pence was a traitor. He didn't have the courage. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be honest here, he kind of didn't have the courage at that point in time. I'm not speaking from how I feel about it. How I feel about it, yeah, they were all, it was very mutinous. It was very like, a coup. It was very much an insurrection. But I'm saying from Trump's point of view, I'm looking at it from Trump's point of view, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm not looking at it from my point of view. From Trump's point of view, he would have been, not having the courage. You got to go down with the ship. Got to go down with the ship.
And separately found liable for committing sexual abuse. And consider what he intends to do if we give him power again.
Please do not bring up Project 2025. Our Lord in heaven, please do not. Oh my goodness. Is she going to mention Project 2025?
Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol. His explicit intent to jail journalists, political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy.
Didn't you guys weaponize the justice system against him? I'm just saying, to me, the Democrats, they're like very cake and eat it too. You guys could weaponize the justice system against Trump, throw him in jail, indictment here, indictment there. But it's like, the minute he says something back to you, the minute he wants to clap back at you and get some retaliation, it's a problem. The minute he wants some retaliation, all the stuff that y'all did to him, all the hell y'all put him through. But he can't get no retaliation on y'all. He can't look into whose cocaine that was at the White House. He can't look at all the criminal activity that Biden administration was a part of. He can't look into the things that you've been doing and all the people that have been against him. He can't look into you guys. Very interesting.
His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens. Consider the power he will have, especially after the United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution.
And they sound like a bunch of cows in the crowd. Moo. Moo. Put some testosterone in those boos. Moo. It sound like a bunch of cows out there. Moo. Is she talking to her delegates or is she talking to cattle? What's going on out there? Put some more energy in those boos. I mean, if y'all really hate Trump, like y'all say, which I think y'all guys do. Put a little bit more energy in those boos. Sound like a bunch of cattle out there. Boo. Boo. Put some energy in those boos.
Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails. And how he would use the immense powers of the presidency of the United States. Not to improve your life, not to strengthen our national security, but to serve the only client he has ever had, himself.
There are a lot of things.
My fault, y'all. Let me get into these commercials real quick. Hold on, man. YouTube going commercial brazy. Commercial. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. We riding high tonight. We got about 51 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Why are Kamala Harris speeches so damn short? This is about a 30-minute speech. It's only taking this long because I've been talking and stopping and, you know, getting my little 2 cents in it. But let's get back into it, y'all. She ain't really talking about nothing. I haven't heard not one word about the economy, one word about how she's going to fix things, one word of things. You know, listen, you can only mention Trump but so long. Can you mention how you're going to fix the economy? Fix what you're broken. Let's get to that.
To cut Social Security and Medicare. We are not going back to when he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. We are not going to let him eliminate the Department of Education that funds our public schools. We are not going to let him end programs like Head Start that provide preschool and child care for our children. America, we are not going back.
And this thing with we're not going back. We're not going back. When are they gonna make the signs and the T-shirts? Is that her slogan? I don't be seeing like the T-shirts or the signs. Is that her slogan for this election season? We're not going back. Somebody need to get on that. I mean, has she copywritten it? We're not going back.
And we are charting a new way forward to a future with a strong and growing middle class, because we know a strong middle class.
A strong and growing middle class? Are you serious, woman? Are you serious? You've been crippling the middle class. You've been hurting the middle class. You haven't been doing anything for the middle class. What are you talking about, Kamala? Am I in the Twilight Zone here? What has she been doing for the middle class? You know what you've been doing for the middle class, Kamala? You've been dumping immigrants in the middle class communities. My community has gone into an affluent black suburban community from a bunch of, respectfully, it's a lot of immigrants in my community now. Immigrant renters. My community went from an affluent black community to, a bunch of, people that, respectfully, but an immigrant community, people that have are possibly renting. It's not an affluent black community anymore. So let's stop all of this about the middle class and a strong middle class. You haven't been helping the middle class. You haven't been helping us. You haven't been helping middle class families when they're having problems, buying groceries, paying mortgage, rent. You have not been helping the middle class. That's an absolute lie. Everybody counts all of the Donald Trump lies. What about the Kamala Harris lie? This woman just said she was helping the middle class. How? How has she been helping the middle class? What has she been doing to help the middle class? So can somebody tell me? I'm going to look in the chat. Hopefully somebody can come up with something. How has she been helping the middle class? I would love to know. I'm going to look in the chat.
Has always been critical to America's success, and building that middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. And I'll tell you,
we got 154 people in here, and we got 154 likes. Salute. We have 154 people, and I seen it. It was like 154 likes. Salute. So thank you for everybody for liking the video. Keep hitting that like button now. And if you want to be a part of the discussion or the dialogue, please put it in the super chat. We put respect on the donors in the super chat. Let's get back into it.
this is personal for me. The middle class is where I come from. My mother kept a strict budget.
So why aren't you helping middle class families? Why are you crippling the middle class right now with your inflation? With your economy? She wants us to believe that she's this patron saint, this patron saint of the middle class, but it's like, woman, what have you been doing to help us? What have you been facilitating for the middle class? How have you been easing their pains, their woes? Every time, the middle class goes to that damn grocery store, it's burning a hole in their pocket. Every time they go to that damn gas station, it's burning a hole in their pocket, on top of their mortgage, on top of their bills, on top of their car payment, on top of their healthcare bills, on top of all of that, on top of the taxes. You're hurting the American middle class. And it sticks into my crow that she's trying to champion herself as like, I'm for the middle class. I'm helping the middle class. I want helping the middle class to be my crowning achievement. I'm looking at your last 3.5 years as VP, and you haven't been doing that. You haven't been helping the middle class. You haven't been helping them. You've been hurting them. I'm looking at your record, Kamala Harris. We're looking at your record. Your record as VP says that you do not care about the middle class. You don't. You don't. You don't care about the middle class. You don't. You don't. You don't care about the middle class. You care about satisfying those billionaire sugar daddies that supported and funded your campaign. That's what you care about. You don't care about those middle class families struggling to make ends meet. You don't care about their grocery bills. You don't care about their car payments, their mortgages. You care about doing things for the 1%ers, the billionaires that have funded your campaign. That's an absolute fact. Your record suggested. Your record speaks volumes. Your record says you don't care about the American public. You don't care about fixing the issues. You don't care about fixing up those communities, strengthening that middle class section of America. You don't care about it because you have not been working for us. How have you been working for us when the economy is in the shape that it's in? When you're flooding the country with immigrants, giving them incentives, putting them up in high-rise hotels, giving them credit cards. How have you been working for the middle class? How have you been helping? You've been hurting. You've been hurting us. Absolutely, you've been hurting us.
To everyone. That's why we will create what I call an opportunity economy where everyone has the chance to compete and a chance to succeed. Whether you live in a rural area, small town, or big city. And as president, I will bring together labor and workers and small business owners and entrepreneurs and American.
Why haven't you done it already? Why haven't you done it already? You're VP. You're big VP. Why haven't you done the work already? Salute to Hawk Promotions. Again, salute to Hawk Productions. Excuse me, Hawk Productions. With the $2 donations, thank you for that, sir. Salute to you. He says, "Have a great night, brother. God bless." Salute to you, Hawk Productions. Have a good night yourself, sir. Salute to you, bro. Salute. Yeah, salute to Hawk Productions, man. You have a good night too, bro. Let's get into it.
Companies to create jobs, to grow our economy, and to lower the cost of everyday needs like health care and housing and groceries. We will provide access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders. And we will end America's housing shortage.
Why haven't you done it already? Kamala, why haven't you done it already? Like I told y'all, this would be different if I was looking at somebody who was trying to get in the office. If we were looking at somebody trying to get in office, I could take your words for face value, because I could say, and I could look at you and say, well, you haven't been in the office yet, so let's allow this woman to, get the opportunity to get in office, and maybe she can do the work. Right? You've been in the office for 3.5 years and you haven't been doing nothing that you're talking about. And it's exhausting to me. It's truly exhausting to me to have to break this down to Kamala Harris supporters. You're looking at a woman that's in office to impact change. She had right now, what's today's date? August 25th, 2024. Kamala Harris has the power to affect change right now as VP. Why is she telling you you have to wait to election night to do something? That's an absolute lie. She has the power. She has the voice to do things now. But she isn't doing it and hasn't been doing it. That's a fact.
And protect Social Security and Medicare. Now compare that to Donald Trump, because I think everyone here knows he doesn't actually fight
Did she like knock over the mic or something?
for the middle class. Not
What was that? Did she like knock over the mic or something like that?
that he fights for himself and his billionaire friends. And he will give them another
Just wait. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. If she gets in office, we're gonna see her take care of those 1%ers, those billionaires that she took money from. Please don't take none of her words for don't take nothing she's saying as real. She's gonna look out for the people that funded her campaign. Make no mistake about it.
tax hike. We will pass a middle-class tax cut that will benefit more than 100 million Americans.
Why haven't you put that tax hike in effect? Why haven't you been helping the American people? Why? Stop telling us what you're gonna do and do it. Do it.
Friends, I believe America cannot truly be prosperous unless Americans are fully able to make their own decisions about their own lives, especially on matters of heart and home.
And again, I haven't heard anything about how she was going to fix the economy. Again, the economy that she ruined. I did not hear how she was going to fix that. I have not heard that.
But tonight, in America, too many women are not able to make those decisions. And let's be clear about how we got here. Donald Trump handpicked members of the United States Supreme Court to take away reproductive freedom. And now he brags about it. In his words, quote,
Well, listen. Now, listen, if this is how I feel about it. If you are a woman, right, respectfully, and you have been, like, all right, nobody wants to take away those rights to women that have been victimized in some way. And we all know, I don't want to get into those, scenarios. It's very brutal to even think about and talk about. But I think everybody would be in favor of women having those luxuries awarded to them, right? That have been through, some type of victimization in some way, shape, or form, right? But when it comes to women that have made a mistake, slept with the wrong guy, two consenting adults, we have to be honest as a society, and we have to tell those women and those men to take some accountability. Take some accountability. Take some accountability. You know you shouldn't be laying up with that woman, laying up with that man. You know you wasn't ready to have a child or ready to have a baby. You know that you can't take care of this baby. You can't even take care of yourself. But you decided to make that mistake. You have to take accountability for it.
And abortions. Simply put, they are out of their minds.
You're out of your mind if you think we're going to put you back in office, woman. And I listen, and I know Kamala girl, I know you're running out of pantsuits. I could have sworn I seen this pantsuit before. I think I saw you wear this navy blue pantsuit 2 months ago. Baby girl, you're running out of pantsuits. I thought she had a lot of pantsuits in her closet. I was wrong. She's running them out. She's running out. She's running out of them. Baby girl, you're running out of pantsuits.
Freedoms are at stake. The freedom to live safe from gun violence in our schools, communities, and places of worship. The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. The freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water and live free
Somebody said,
from the pollution.
Somebody said she's winning in all polls. Not in this one. And let's do the math. She is not leading in any polls right now. All polls are saying that it is a tie right now. All of the polls are saying that it's a tight race right now. She is not ahead. Trump is not ahead. We don't have a clear winner. We don't have it's not like when Biden was running. When Biden was running, they were saying that Trump was killing him in the polls. We don't really have a winner right now. It's a tight race right now. There's no winner in the polls right now. Nobody's up right now. Nobody has a head on somebody. That's not what's happening right now.
But Donald Trump believes a border deal would hurt his campaign. So he ordered his allies in Congress to kill the deal. Well, I refuse to play politics with our security, and here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
You haven't been taking care of the damn border. We're talking about the border czar here. The border czar talking about the border that she's never been to. I'm so tired of talking to you Kamala Harris supporters. The fact that I gotta keep beating this same drum, that we're looking at somebody that was in charge of the border, that dropped the ball on the border, never been to the border. It's draining. It's really draining that I gotta keep telling y'all this.
I know we can live up to our proud heritage as a nation of immigrants and reform our broken immigration system. We can create an earned pathway to citizenship and secure our border.
You heard what she said? A nation of immigrants. We are not a nation of immigrants, Kamala. We are a nation of Americans. Did you hear the rhetoric that she said? A nation of immigrants. We are not a nation of immigrants. We are a nation of Americans. If you're like me, if you're a foundational black man, your ancestors built this country. Some of you white people, your ancestors built this country. And it's very disingenuous to tell us that we are a nation of immigrants when you're dealing with people who are, 20th generation in this country, who ancestors go back to the 1700s, ancestors go back to the 1800s. And you're telling us we're a nation of immigrants when it was our ancestors who built this country, not yours. We are not a nation of immigrants. We are a nation of Americans. My ancestors built America. We built America. We fought in the foreign wars, civil wars, World War I, II, Vietnam. My ancestors fought in those wars. We built the communities. We built the White House. The economy was on the foundational black Americans' backs. It's disrespectful to call me and call black people a nation of immigrants. We are not. We built this damn country. Brick by brick. Mortar by mortar. It's easy for her to say we are a nation of immigrants because her father was an immigrant. Her mother was an immigrant. This is not a woman who has 30, 20, 40 generations deep of American culture in America. E-Chad, you can suck it from the back, bro. Welcome to the block. Welcome to the block party, E-Chad. Welcome to the block party. Welcome to the block party. Welcome to the block party. I'm not tolerating no slander. I'm not tolerating no slander in here. I'm not tolerating. You get kicked to the block party. You can send all of your emotions to the block party, sir. God bless. Let's get back into it.
And America, we must also be steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad. As Vice President, I have confronted threats to our security, negotiated with foreign leaders.
What? Can I rewind that back? Give me 1 second, y'all. Did I hear that right? I gotta hear that one more time. Hold on, give me 1 second, man. Did I hear that right? Maybe I didn't hear that right. Let me just hear that. Let me see that. Let me see.
We must also be steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad.
How have you been doing that? You haven't been securing the border. You where the borders are. No, I'm so tired of talking about her being a border czar. I'm getting pissed off just thinking about it. Getting pissed off just thinking about it. Get back into it.
Vice President, I have confronted threats to our security.
How? You were in charge of the damn border. You never been there. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't want to hear no more. I'm done. I am done. Y'all always talk about all of the lies that Trump spews. Y'all say all the time, Trump is a liar. He lies about this, lies about that. This woman hasn't even been to the damn border talking about, I spent my life securing the border, doing the work. You ain't even been to the damn border. What the hell? Can I ask you Democrats something? Can I just ask you something? Let me just ask you something. Do you question any of your politicians? Do you question any of them? Do you fact check any of them? You know, you fact check Trump on everything he says. Do you fact check Kamala Harris? Do you fact check? I mean, I know you're mad at Trump. I know you're aggy. I know you hate him. But do you fact check anything that Kamala Harris says? Cause listen, she blurted out a lot of lies on that speech. She blurted out a lot of lies. And you know, the Democratic left, they're so focused on every single lie that Trump speaks, but I don't see y'all with the same energy on the Democratic left and the lies that they spill out. A lot of lies. A lot of falsities. This woman said out of her mouth before that she's never been to the border. If you've never been to the border, how are you securing the border if you've never been there? I'm done. Show's over. Show's over. Show's over. Show's over. Listen. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. Listen. We're going to do more debates. We're going to do more dialogue discussions on this Kamala Harris Trump debacle. The debate is coming up next. The DNC is over. Thank God. The DNC convention is over. Thank God it's over. A lot of shucking and jiving, high-fiving, buttermilk eating, biscuits eating. It was a shit show. It was absolute ridiculous there. Ridiculous. Again, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. We do discussions all the time about, you know, politics, whether it be Trump, Kamala. We got a lot more to get into. The next major thing that we got to talk about is now that the DNC is over, we have to talk about the upcoming debate. The upcoming debate is going to be happening soon. That's going to be the next thing, the next major event that we need to discuss and talk about. But you know, of course, we're going to be covering the rallies and the banter back and forth. Hopefully, Kamala Harris finally does an interview. I think it's about time. I mean, you've been holding out for a very long time. I think it's about time you do an interview. Hopefully we get an interview. We can talk about that. But this is the most important election of our lifetime. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. No mistake. Buck Ian Curation says, I sub. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Salute to you. Salute to you. Listen, guys. I hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. This is the check-in report. Again, we're gonna have more discussions. We're gonna have more dialogue discussions on politics. The focus is politics. We gotta talk about it. We gotta discuss things. We gotta get things in order, man. This is an important election. But with that being said, man, hope you guys have been entertained and as well as enlightened. I am your host, True and Living. This is the check-in report. I'll probably see you guys, God willing, tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do a show. You know what I mean? A good little stream, talk about some topics, different things. Stay tuned, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But and all that, you guys have a good night, man. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. Y'all guys have a blessed night, man. We are out. Toodles, y'all.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Fire!